sorry, I'm just getting everything set up here to go live. We're gonna do some fun Easter cards today. We're using the For Peeps Sake stamps and dies plus some other products, and we're just gonna make some cute and fun Easter cards. I know Easter is early this year, oh my goodness, and I feel so far behind, but let's jump in and make some Easter cards. All right, thanks for everyone who's joining me today on this nice Sunday afternoon. I hope you're enjoying the weekend. As I mentioned, we're gonna make some cards with our For Peeps Sake stamps and dies. So the first card we're gonna create is a mini slimline card. And we're gonna use it horizontally, but I've got, this is one of our slimline card bases, and I just cut it down a little bit. So I get a 6 by 3.5 inch card base. I just cut 2.5 inches off of our slimline card bases, and I've got a mini slimline card base ready to go. Yes, Easter is sneaking up on us this year. I can't believe it seems so early. It's just barely spring. We've definitely had spring break down here in Florida. So much more traffic and just so many more people around. All right, so my first layers I've cut from our mini slimline stitched rectangles. I've used set 1 and set 2 because when you use the two sets together, you can get nice little nesting layers that have a nice 1/8 of an inch border around them. You can use like just set 1, but you'll have like a 1/4 inch border when you use those, because they go by 1/4 inches as they go down in sizes on each set. So I'm going to just adhere these together and put them on the card base. Piece of glitter there, stray glitter. All right. And before I adhere this to the card, I want to add a little bit of ribbon. I love to add ribbon to cards, just adds that extra little texture. But I'm first going to put our little spotlight piece. This is where our characters are going to hang out on the card. I always say your characters need a place to live on your card. They can't just float around in space. So we give them a place to live. So I've cut this piece. This is our double stitch dome dies. Hey, Paul. Hi from Pennsylvania. Hi, Melissa. Thanks everyone who's joining me today. Hope you're having a good Sunday. This is from our salon cardstock, and it's just a double stitch dome die here. And I'm going to put it in the center. And I want to adhere it down first because I'm going to put the ribbon across the bottom of it there. Is anyone else like me and has tons of ribbon in their stash? I love ribbons. And I love adding them to my cards. Because to me, they just add that extra little bit of texture that it needs sometimes so that they're not just flat and just paper. So to put my ribbon on, I like to just wrap it around the edges of my paper. So I just put some adhesive on the back ends on each side of the ribbon. And I leave it loose on the front because we're going to tie a knot on the front before we're done. And you just wrap it around the back and just adhere it to the back. And that saves on ribbon so you're not wrapping it completely around and tying the knot. Well, yeah, I say pull that ribbon out and use it. It's lots of fun. It adds that nice texture to your cards. Yeah, the plaid is from our year-round plaids paper pad. And it's got some really fun spring colors in it. It's really pretty. I love plaids. Okay, now we're ready to add this piece to our card front. I normally use our Easy Squeeze craft glue. I love using liquid glue on my cards, but we've been out of it for a little bit, and it's just taking a little bit longer than I anticipated to get it back in stock. But hopefully we'll have that back in stock soon. All right, now we're ready to add our little characters. This For Peeps Sake stamp set it's very unique and different and super cute. It's got marshmallow friends and those little, little bunny that looks like the little Peeps candy. And for this one, I've added our Stardust Chunky Glitter. See how it's super sparkly? And it just looks like he's got a ton of that sugar on him, that sparkly sugar. Really fun. So when I added the chunky glitter to him, this is our pick up and place tool. While the glue was still wet, I just took the pokey part of this tool and I moved the glitter away from his eyes and his nose and his mouth. I did that while the glue was wet. That way you could see his little face in the glitter a little easier. I know on the camera it just looks really sparkly. You can hardly see his face, but in person I can see his little face on there. So I'm going to adhere these characters down just right in the middle. And then I've got this extra little marshmallow guy that's got his little Easter basket, and I've put some foam tape on the back of him, and we're going to add him off just on the side of them here, like an extra little piece. There we go, and let's add our extra little marshmallow. This paper makes me happy too, and I always say you got to use stuff that makes you smile and makes you happy. Next I'm going to tie that knot in the ribbon I was talking about. And whenever I tie a knot on my card, on the ribbon, I like to put a little glue or adhesive where I'm going to put the knot. That way it stays in place where you want it. So I just slide my ribbon underneath. That's why I like to leave it loose on the front. And then just tie a simple knot. As I pull the one side underneath, I just turn the ribbon so that the polka dots show on the top of both sides. And I pull it tight, and then I press my finger against the knot, and it flattens it out just a little bit, and it puts it in that adhesive, and it'll stay right there. And then all I'm going to do is just trim a little excess ribbon. I just kind of trim it at an angle. Oops. We'll get those out of the way. See, that ribbon just adds that little extra texture that's sometimes needed, so it's not just a flat all paper card. I just like that texture of the ribbon. And the last thing I'm going to add is I've stamped the sentiment, "You're one of my favorite peeps." And then I just cut the little pennant flag end out of the bottom of it because I'm going to add it up at the top of the card here. There we go. There's our first card. Super simple, sweet, really cute. And I'm ready to send this to a friend for Easter. I'm going to go ahead and turn on our pink ink machine. I'm going to put it on number 3. That's typically what I use for all our foils and foilables. As we're going to foil on our next card. Let's get we're also going to stamp, so I'm getting my ink pad ready. So I've made an A2 size top folding card from our dress shop, which is a nice bright pink cardstock. And that's going to be our card base. Got a couple other pieces here. I'm going to put those aside. And I'm doing something dangerous here. I've used our chunky glitter, and I'm also foiling, so I want to make sure that I'm cleaning off this foilable really well and the back of the foil, because we don't want any of that glitter to interfere with our foiling. See, our ink machine is already ready to go. It only takes a couple minutes. So I'm just going to dust off the front of the foilable as well as the back of the foil before we do our foiling. So this foilable, these little jelly beans, is from our Easter Treats foilable panels. So I'm going to put it in the transfer folder. And then I'm going to put our piece of foil pretty side up on top of it. And the foil I'm using is our Ombre Pastel cheer foil. I'm just flipping it over so that I can make sure that my entire piece is covered and there's none of that pattern sticking out. All right, so let's just put it in our ink machine. You just want to make sure you put it straight and even through the front. I kind of support it here with my hand just to make sure it goes smoothly in. Yes, we do have the foil machine in our store. We have everything that we have online in our store here in Palmetto, Florida. And we love when people come and visit us here. You also get to meet my little dog, Echo. It's little Jack Russell. Every now and then you might hear him barking in the background. But on Sundays it's pretty quiet here, so he stays pretty quiet too. He mostly alerts us when we've got people coming in or there's deliveries or something. All right, so once this goes through our ink machine, we want to let it cool completely before we peel the foil away. You want it to be cool. That toner ink that the design is printed with, the toner ink actually melts a little bit in the ink machine, so you don't want to pull the foil away while it's still, you know, maybe melty or hot. But once it's cool to the touch, we can just peel this away. That's my favorite part. I love it every time. And you can always use your negative foil piece. I have lots of videos showing how you use your negative foil pieces to get another card panel out of the same piece of foil. So you hold on to that because you could use it again. but I'm just going to use this one today. And look how pretty that is. All our jelly beans are colored. Super shiny, sparkly, and foiled. All right, so we are ready to adhere this to our card front. Well, Oma, it's a good day to shop at Pink and Main. We just had a brand new release on Friday. It's our March release. So we have lots of new goodies on the website. And our incentive stamp set, you get the free March mug stamp set when you spend $50. And when you spend $75, you get the coordinating die as well. And those will automatically be added to your cart as you're shopping. So that's fun. Okay, so now we have our card base. Yeah, this foil is, I always say they're all one of my favorites, but I can't pick a favorite, but I do love this one. With the colors that just kind of blend together on there. So pretty. All right, the next part of our card, we're going to use our layered scallops circle dies. So what this is, and it looks kind of funny when you cut one, so they look like lumpy bumpy circles, but what it's meant to do is you cut it out of two colors. So I've cut it out of a teal glitter paper. I always like to mix my glitter with my foil. I think you can never have too much sparkle and shine, right? And then I've cut it out of our Streetlight yellow cardstock. And you layer them together so that the scallops give you like alternating colors around the circle. I love that. It's so fun. Instead of your just a scallop circle in one color, you can now have two colors that go around. So that's really fun. We're going to glue these together. And it doesn't matter what color you put on the top or the bottom, because once you add the circle on the top, you're just going to see the scallops going around. Just want to get it lined up right, and then we can glue this down to the card base. There we go. All right, and I want to stamp the sentiment. I've cut the circle that comes with that die set. It fits right in the center, just like that. I'm going to stamp our sentiment on the bottom of the circle. So I've got one of our clear blocks, which are tinted pink. I love that. So you can see them on your desk. And then the sentiment says Sweet Easter Greetings. And I'm going to use our Dress Shop pink ink pad. I've never used the stamp set before, so I'm going to flip my cardstock over to the back. And I'm just going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp it. And then I'm going to stamp it again, and again, and again. And I'm just assuring that it's going to stamp perfectly when I turn it over and actually stamp it on the side that's going to show, since I haven't used it before. But with our stamps, they're such good quality, you don't have to do a lot of conditioning to them. This is the only conditioning to our stamps I do. I take a piece of scratch paper or the back of my piece that I'm going to stamp on, and I just ink it up and stamp a couple of times, just to assure that it's stamping good. and it's stamping perfectly. So I will ink it up. And just stamp it on my paper there. And it's a really small little sweet sentiment. It says Sweet Easter Greetings. So the foilables don't work with the Glimmer hot foil system. The Glimmer hot foil system was made for the hot foil dies. You need the metal hot foil dies to work with the Glimmer system. The foilables work with our foils and other transfer foils that work with toner printed designs. It's a different type of foiling, and the foils are different. All right, now we can adhere our circle. In the center of our scallops here. There we go. And the last thing I'm going to do is add our cute little Easter basket. Again, I've just added our Stardust chunky glitter on the bunny and the little chick there. So they're super, super sparkly, but they look like they're covered in sugar. I've just put some foam adhesive on the back. There we go. Another super simple and sweet card. Never can have too much sparkle and shine. I love the foil background along with the little hints of glitter. It just looks really well. It looks really good together to me. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of foiling on our last card. And our last card we're going to make is a shaker card. It's going to be super fun. But we're also going to foil a piece first before we make our shaker. So this is another background piece from our Easter Treats foilable panels. And again, I'm just going to dust it off, make sure there's no dust on the back of my foil. Dust, dog hair, glitter, any kind of powder or debris on there will interfere with the foiling. Now on this, these look like chocolate Easter bunnies to me. So I'm going to make them look like chocolate Easter bunnies. I'm using our log cabin foil, and it's a really neat brown foil that it's wood grain. That's why it's called log cabin. But I think it's going to make those bunnies look more like chocolate bunnies. Let's try it and see. And always the foil goes pretty side up on the foilable. If you put it upside down, it will not foil. But that's easy to fix. You just flip it over and then foil it on the right side. We'll run it through the ink machine. So I've got an A2 side folding card that I've made out of our Pebble cardstock. It's a nice craft color, just a light tan. I thought it would go well with the chocolate bunnies that I'm creating. And then we're going to add some pops of color with some cardstock. All right. Hi everyone that's joining in. Thanks so much for joining. We're making Easter cards. I know it seems last minute, but Easter is just crept up on us here really quick. It's next weekend, I think. I'm going to go ahead and turn the ink machine off. So we're done with our foiling while we let this cool. Again, we want it to be cool to the touch when we do the peel and reveal. Oh yeah, how fun. Look at those. That log cabin foil made them look like chocolate bunnies because they just have some extra little lines and stuff in there, like the little chocolate bunnies have the details and the rabbits. Love that. Again, save your negative foil piece. You can use it with a solid toner sheet. And I have lots of videos if you're wondering about how to use the negative. I have lots of videos showing the foiling and using the negative foil, so you get 2 card panels out of 1 piece of foil. The next thing I'm going to do is I've cut from our Sunny Sky cardstock, I've cut this scalloped rectangle piece, and I'm going to add our chocolate bunnies right on top of there. There we go. And we can go ahead and we can adhere this to our card base. All right. I love that so far. You don't need to even add much to that, and it makes a really cute card, huh? All right, but I said we're going to make a shaker card. So we had our new release on Friday, and one of the things that we released is our shaker covers so that you can make card size shaker cards. And the one I'm using today, this is our small A2 shaker cover. So we have an A2 size, which will cover your entire A2 card front. We have a small A2, which when you fold the sides in, it's 3 3/4 by 5. So you get a little bit of border of your card around the edge. We have a mini slimline shaker cover, and we have a slimline shaker cover. So you can make all your card sizes or 4 card sizes there with, and you can make them shaker cards. We also release our pick up and place tool, and it has a pokey side. I call it the pokey end. And it also has a wax tip end on the other side that you can use for picking up your gems and your sequins. But on our shaker covers, they have a protective film on the front of them, and that's so that it keeps the acetate nice and clean and pretty for your shaker card. But I find the easiest way to remove that film is to use the pokey end of this tool. And you just kind of grab up that thin protective piece and pull it away. And once it's pulled away, I can put the tool away and then just peel it off. So it just peels off just like that. And then you can throw that piece away. Okay. What I like to do with these first, before I start making my shaker card, is they have score lines already in them for all 4 sides. I like to fold all 4 of these flaps towards the back so that they're already kind of pre-folded. They'll be easy to fold as you're making your shaker panel. All right, and then you kind of flatten them back out just a bit so you can work with it. And I just realized what I did wrong is I glued down our bunnies, and I need that inside our shaker cover. That's the piece that's supposed to go in the shaker. Because you need a piece that goes on the inside. Let's see if I can, the cardstock piece is coming up. Let's see if I can pull this apart. You know, every now and then you just do a goof. I wasn't thinking about everything going together. There we go. Tore a little bit of the paper on the back, but that's okay. We're going to cover that up. So let me set that down and put my scallop piece back on my card. Good thing that tape hadn't really adhered really well yet. There we go. All right, so now we can make our shaker pocket. Yeah, at least a lot of times we can fix our goofs. There's always a way to fix your goof. All right, so I'm gonna flip my shaker panel over, and I'm laying it flat on the table, and I've got the piece that I want to go inside laying down on top of it like so. You want to get that piece centered. Now this shaker piece is 3 3/4 by 5 when it's folded, as I mentioned. So you want the piece of paper that's going inside to be a 1/16 of an inch smaller. You're just gonna shave a little hair of paper off each side so that it has room to fold over and not pucker or make it lumpy, if that makes sense. So I'm going to start by taking one piece of release paper, and I love, you see how easy that release paper comes off. You don't have to fuss with it too much. Making sure that my piece of paper is centered and I'm holding it down, I'm going to press one side of that shaker pocket down. Now I'm going to go to the opposite side, and I'm going to peel that release paper. But again, I'm going to press everything flat. We want to press it flat and then fold the other side in. So now we have two pieces or two sides adhered down. I'm just going to show you what it looks like here. See, we've got our bunnies still on that side. I'm going to take a third side and remove the release paper. Yeah, these are really fun, these shaker covers. They're so much fun. I love shaker cards, and this makes it super easy. And they're just that wow, wow factor to your card. So now we have 3 sides adhered. Don't do the 4th side yet. Now we have our pocket. See the pocket there? We're going to add our shaker pieces. I have some confetti sequins it's a mix from one of our Crafty Courtyard kits, but we have tons of new confetti sequins that we released on Friday, and all you do is just mix the colors that you want or use one color, whatever you like. And we're just going to add that inside our shaker pocket. They come in little Ziploc bags when you order this sequins, so that you can reuse the bag. So if you don't want to use the entire package, you can seal it back up. All right. I've got a few stray pieces here. I'm just going to pop inside there. Get in there. They have a little static electricity to them. We have lots of fun filling those little Ziploc bags full of those sequins because these things, they get static and they pop everywhere. All right, so now I'm going to press it down flat again and remove the release paper from that fourth flap. And we're going to fold and then press it down. And now we've got our fun shaker pocket. Look at that. That's so fun. So I got our chocolate bunnies back there, and we've got all our sparkly confetti sequins inside. And it's so much fun just to shake around. And again, it gives that wow factor to your card. And see, it's going to fit on top of that little scalloped rectangle that I did with the little scallops going around the edge. But let's decorate the outside of the pocket before we adhere it to the card. So I cut about a 1.5 inch strip of paper from our Salon cardstock. It's a nice pink. And I used our new scallop border dies that I cut on each side. They have the little stitching effect. Looks really nice. So I just created this little scallop border. And I've got about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch piece of white paper that I'm going to put right in the middle. We're just going to create a little strip of paper there to go up and down our card. So you can decorate the inside of your shaker pockets like we did with the foilable and the chocolate bunnies. And then we're also going to decorate the outside of the pocket. And it gives, when you do that, it gives all those like layers to the card. And you've got extra dimension because you have stuff inside, you've got stuff outside. Just makes for a fun interactive card. All right, so I'm just going to adhere this strip kind of to the left side a little bit. There we go. So see, we have all that sparkle and shine on the inside, and then we've got this on the outside. Just adds extra layers to the card. I'm going to go ahead now and adhere this pocket to our card base. And when you adhere these to your card base, you want to use a nice strong adhesive. So I recommend using a liquid adhesive or something like our Easy Tear double-sided tape. Just a really strong tape or glue adhesive. You want something that will hold it down to your card well. You don't want it falling off your card, right? I like our Easy Tear double-sided tape because, as you can see, it's super easy just to tear the piece that you need. I'm just going to put it across the 4 borders and then a little bit in the middle. All right, let me add one more piece in the middle here so we keep this. Okay, one more piece. So then we'll just remove the release paper from the tape, which it also comes up quite easily. I can't stand a super strong adhesive tape that I can't get the release paper off of, and you sit there and you're picking at it forever. Drives me crazy. So I had to have something that's easy to use. All right, I'm just going to center this on my scalloped rectangle on the card front. And I'm going to press it down really good. Okay, look, there's our little shaker card so far. Now I'm going to add the last little pieces. So this For Peeps Sake stamp set has some really cute images. And I love these they're little chicks and bunnies s'mores. So I've got a few of the little chick s'mores, and I'm stacking them up. And then the little bunny s'more is going to go on the top. And then I've got the sentiment stamped out already for this one. It says a sweet Easter treat. And I've cut the little flag end on it there. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this because I want it tucked behind those little s'mores. So let's just tuck it behind this one here. And adhere it down. And now I can start to glue down my little s'mores. I love to use the Olo markers for coloring. And small images like this, you don't even have to do a whole lot of shading to get a nice coloring. I'll zoom in just a second and show you. A little closer look at the coloring on them. Oh, there. So cute, so cute. I'll bring up our other cards to show. Let's zoom in a second. So with your alcohol markers, and I'll have to do a video where I show some coloring. I just kind of do my own thing, so I'm not going to have like maybe a proper technique, but it's a technique that works for me. So I can show you how I color, but on little images like this, you can even just use the same color marker and you just go over the parts that you want a little darker. You just go over it a little bit more, add a little bit more color, and you get a little bit of shading, just enough to make the coloring look really nice. But it's not difficult at all. But isn't that cute? Look at those little s'mores. Little chicks and bunnies. And we've got our chocolate bunnies in the background that are foiled with that log cabin foil. Really fun. And we've got our shaker card, all those sequins. Move and shake. All right, let me clear my mess a little. Let's look at the cards that we made. I hope this will inspire you, if you haven't already, to get your Easter stuff out and make some Easter cards. Maybe you're ahead of me and you've already got your Easter cards done. But you can also use some of these same techniques, the same colors, and make some nice spring cards. But yeah, so this we made with our For Peeps Sake stamp set and dies. And we made 3 cards I'm ready to send to some friends for Easter. All right. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed as I created these Easter cards. You want to head over to pinkandmain.com, check out our new release that we released on Friday. Like I mentioned before, we have a free incentive stamp set going on. So if you spend $50, you get the March mug stamp for free. And if you spend $75, you get the coordinating die as well. So that's something fun going on right now. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I'm going to try to go live again later this week and use some of those new products from our release. So you'll want to join me then. And until next time, my friends, keep living the creative life. Have a great Sunday.